Approximately 5 years ago, India entered an undesirable list of global polluters. We now rank third on the list of top carbon emitters alongside countries like the US, China, Japan, and the European Union. This is not something to be proud of, and neither is it shocking. It is inevitable for pollution to rise in an emerging country. Many of us blame richer countries for being the biggest polluters on our planet, while either denying or even being unaware that development of emerging countries like India has made the climate crisis even worse. Progress around the world has come at the cost of not only melting our planet, but putting our future and that of our loved ones at risk. And that's one of the reasons why I show up here. Progress for India is complicated, but it need not be unsustainable moving forward. On giving this issue some serious thought, here are two strategies that could become our key to progressing responsibly. Number one, turning our weakness into our strength. While the world is adapting to climate change and preparing for its impact, most Indians are only just waking up to this issue because awareness and participation have been a challenge in our current system. We may not have the financial funding or the latest technology to adapt on a mass scale, like some of the richer and less populated countries are able to do. But history is proof that turning our weaknesses into our strengths is something we are quite familiar with. As of this day, we have access to a resource so powerful that it could change the course of our fight against climate change. India is home to 1/5 of the world's youth. With more than 50% of our population under the age of 25, we are one of the youngest nations in the world. And that's not it. Our literacy rate among the youth is significantly higher than most other countries, as 90% of our youth between the age of 15 to 24 years can read and write. Access to the internet, social media, and e-learning platforms is empowering millions of young minds to break barriers. And this makes educated youth India's most valuable asset towards progressing responsibly. Our next strategy is going back to our roots. Solutions to climate-related problems in India may not come from following in the footsteps of other emerging nations like China. Neither will they come from replicating case studies or importing technology from developed nations like Europe and the US. The secret to success is closer to home than we think. Some wise believe that the answer to every problem is already written in the scriptures. If we look deeper into our own culture for solutions, we would realize that a lot of answers to present and future challenges already exist in the knowledge passed on by our previous generations. Keeping that in mind, I went on to explore the ancient philosophy of dharma, which seems to be quite forgotten in our modern society. But it may just be our answer to fighting climate change. Here's a quick fact. Dharma, by definition, is the universal law of righteousness that encourages you and me to act in an ethical and truthful manner in any given situation. It has been interpreted in multiple ways because of the vastness of its nature. Some consider dharma as selfless service to humanity, while others consider it as a duty towards their own purpose. Ultimately, the philosophy behind dharma boils down to the right way of living. I hope you're still here because I want to tell you I was wrong. Dharma isn't forgotten. It is the very essence of climate action for these young Indians who have chosen to follow the right path for our planet and for all of us. Take a look. Incredible, isn't it? I'm barely scratching the surface here. This list can go on. To me, it is very inspiring to watch these young, talented, and kind human beings who are challenging the status quo and leading the way for others to follow. So that's it for today. Those were my two strategies for progressing responsibly, turning our weakness into our strengths and going back to our roots. The first step towards any action is the hardest, but there is always a way to make a difference in your community or in your own lifestyle. Even if it is a small step, it matters. So, better late than never. I will share more on this topic as I progress on my journey towards conscious living. But for now, I'm very interested to know what path have you chosen for our planet.